to talk about non-scale victories. You might have heard this term before, but if not, what this means is things that are pointing towards your success in your dietary changes that don't necessarily reflect on the scale. So often we judge whether or not a program is working or whether or not the changes we made in our diets are good or bad based off of what the scale says. So if you're trying to lose weight and you hit a plateau and that scale's not budging, it might start to feel like you're going crazy because you're putting in all the same hard work and now all of a sudden the scale's not moving. And that's often when people just throw their hands up in the air and they give up and they fall back into their old habits. So I want to talk about non-scale victories. What are some other indications that the changes that you've made are positive? They are changing your biology, they are changing your body composition, but it might not be reflecting on the scale. The first one that I always point people to is how they look in the mirror, specifically their face. When people start to lose weight, they tend to notice it first in their face. But if you notice a change in your face, even if it's a slight change, or maybe people at work or that you see day to day start to say, hey, you're starting to look a little different. Even if that scale hasn't budged, or maybe you've only lost 3 pounds and that's not even close to your goal, that is an indication that you are starting to lose fat mass. So why isn't that scale budging? Well, sometimes people just lose fat and they lose weight, but most of the time we're recomposing. So we are losing fat mass at the same time as we're putting on skeletal muscle mass. This is especially true if you are pairing a training program with a weight loss meal plan. So you might have lost 5 pounds of fat mass and gained 5 pounds of muscle mass, and you're stuck at that same spot on the scale. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I have put in all this work and nothing has changed. Well, a lot has changed. You've lost 5 pounds of fat. You've gained 5 pounds of muscle, but that's not reflecting on the scale. So again, that's where stuff like looking at your face you can start to see a difference. And in that same vein, I would say starting to see definition in the mirror that you haven't seen before and how your clothes fit. How your clothes fit is actually probably going to be the very first thing that you see before you start to recognize a whole bunch of progress on the scale. Being down 5 pounds in fat, but up 5 pounds of muscle is going to vastly change how your clothes are fitting. The next thing I want to bring up has nothing to do with what you look like and everything to do with how you feel. Are you sleeping better? Are your energy levels better and more consistent? Do you feel like you have more energy when you go to the gym? And when you go to the gym, do you get more out of your training sessions? Are you stronger than you were when you started? Can you lift more weights? Can you do more reps? Can you do more of the workout without feeling tired? Do you find you're able to stand or walk more before you get exhausted? Are there day-to-day tasks that used to be kind of challenging, maybe like bringing in groceries, that now don't feel like they require a whole lot of effort? These are all non-scale victories. And those are huge wins that should not be ignored. If you're able to change your diet in a way that you can really obviously notice a difference in stuff like sleep and energy and recovery, that's huge. That's a monumental shift in the way that you're eating and how it's impacting your health. Lastly, and this might sound kind of crazy, but a giant win, probably one of the best wins that have nothing to do with the scale, is if the changes that you've made in your diet are easy. You just do them. It's what you like to eat now. You've made it work so that it works with your schedule and you like the food and it's good, healthy, balanced meals and you're getting in all your nutrients and you're feeling great and it's easy. It doesn't feel like a diet. It doesn't feel like a challenge. You're not fighting with yourself every single time you eat. If you have accomplished that, I don't care what has happened to the scale. You have accomplished behavior change and you have accomplished changing your diet in a way that is more healthful, giving you more nutrients, providing your body with more nourishment to keep you healthy. That is a huge win. And that's not something that's easily achievable by a lot of people. So if you've made it to that point, awesome. We've had previous videos about what to do in the case of a plateau. If the weight continues to not come off, you're still struggling with that, it's probably just something to do with having to tweak calories around. but take those wins for what they are. It's easy to tweak around calories if we need to, but changing behaviors and recognizing some of those non-scale victories, that's really, really important. I hope maybe you recognize some of these wins in yourself, and I hope that they motivate you to keep going.